Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, we got some fantastic news from Romania. That's why I show my patriotism and my nationalism by wearing this Romanian traditional shirt. Anyway, what happened? The illegitimate president of Romania, the ethnic German Klaus Iohannis, announced resignation. So he quit. I don't think he was legitimate. We're going to find out why he quit, why he resigned before an impeachment vote. Democracy restored in Romania? I don't think so. But before we go to read about 4 articles, I would like to thank a friend of mine that I met in Romania, actually, who posted this piece of news and I got it from. I will use only his initials, A.T. A.T. I don't know if you would like me to mention his name. Nevertheless, thank you very much for posting this. I mean, you are the first one where I saw the news. And before we start even further, I will celebrate with a Polish beer that I like very much, Zupi Zupi. This one was recommended to me by a Polish friend. If you can believe, this is my Napoleon Bonaparte's opener right there. From this, actually, I bought it from Versailles when I went last year. So he recommended me this, and it's very good. Perla, very good, tasty mofo beer. It is 0.5 liters. And cheers, norog, Romanians. All right. No, I don't have a Romanian beer. I don't have Ursus or others that I used to drink in Romania. Not much, but anyway, let's move on. So his name is Piotr. The friend, I can mention his first name. Piotr, thank you very much. I used to drink a dark beer, as I call it, an African-American Polish beer, because they're black beer, dark beer. Alright, let's go with the first article, which starts with right there. This is the first article, and it is from BBC. Romanian President resigns after impeachment pressure over cancelled vote. So that means he must have done something illegal if he resigned because he was afraid he will be impeached because the vote was cancelled. You wouldn't resign if everything would be constitutional, would you? So you're not going to be impeached because you're on the right side of history. If the cancellation of the elections where Mr. Călin Georgescu won the first round, all right, and they cancelled, that means you admit guilt. Otherwise, you wouldn't resign. You would say, what? I'm the legitimate president right here. The impeachment has no validation, is no valid right there. That means Călin Georgescu is possibly the legitimate president of Romania, or should have been. Noroc, I'm very thirsty. I ate some, how do you call that? Rainbow trout or steelhead. Good, so that requires a beer at least. All right, so he resigned. That tells me he admits guilt. Otherwise, you would stay there and you would fight. No, here is the ethnic German Klaus Iohannis, former physics professor from Hermannstadt, Romania, Sibiu High School. Romania's President Klaus Iohannis has resigned a day before he faced an impeachment vote sparked by the cancellation of the country's presidential election last year. Opponents had been pushing to suspend him over his decision to remain in office until a new vote in May. Romania's top court in December controversially annulled, that is, illegally if you just resign, the election because Russian state meddling allegations is, I say something about someone. I didn't prove anything. That's not an allegation. I say the neighbor beat the other neighbor. I used to use a different kind of example, but someone told me, please don't use that. Okay, I will not use it. Which was the neighbor fucked the other neighbor. All right. The centrist pro-EU leader, that means it was in the pocket of the Germans, cited national security concerns. In the name of national security concerns, you suspend elections? Democracy? But critics and candidates in the poll said his actions were undemocratic. I think so. In December, just 48 hours before Romanians were due to vote in the presidential runoff election, the nation's constitutional court made an unprecedented ruling scrapping the entire process at the orders of Al Capone, I think. The left the country without an incoming president, Iohannis, who has served 2 terms since 2014, choose to stay. Choose. You know what, guys? You don't want me, I want you. You remember the king? Choose to stay in office until his successor could be elected. But it was unconstitutional, if I remember correctly. But his role in the cancellation of the election and his reluctance to lead the country decisively since then has led to a groundswell of popular anger. No, he didn't do it because of that. All right, you don't do it because, 3,000 people or 10,000 or 100,000 people say you should resign. The rest of the country did not say anything, so no. Tens of thousands of Romanians have demonstrated in the streets, and lawmakers were due to begin a parliamentary process this week to suspend him from office. I think the order came from far, far away, not from Iohannis, from Cotroceni. Cotroceni is the White House of Romania, Palace, Cotroceni Palace. So in Bucharest. So I don't think the order came from his, oh, you know what, I think I do something for the Romanians once in a while and I resign because I'm illegitimate. Nah, I think someone said, Iohannis, it's plan B right now. We got plan B all secured. You resign and we figure out what's going on. We already have it done. We'll see what's going on now with Călin Georgescu. Did Călin Georgescu sign the papers like Trump or no? Is he under and over or he's not? We'll find out. I hope he doesn't. I told you the options of Călin Georgescu. I think there are about 4. 1, signs the contract, he will be the next president. Doesn't sign the contract, he will be blackmailed and threatened. Now from there, he either caves in, he's never going to win. It's kind of like a rhyme, right? Caves in, never going to win, right? Or he caves in and he's going to be impeached, he's going to be sued for some porn or something they will find out, or blackmail, threats, and so. And the 4th one is he's gonna die of maybe natural causes. I know, a heart attack, a mini stroke, a car T-bone accident, things like this, an helicopter falling down from the sky. Remember, this kind of things happen. So I will see what kind of Călin Georgescu will get if he will be allowed to be participating in the elections, to run. Iohannis has said his decision to remain in office had been an attempt to provide political continuity. No, you find out the constitution. You don't do that. Romania's constitution says a presidential term is 5 years, but also that the president should remain in office until their successor takes over. I read that actually it's not that. I heard that the chief of the Senate in Romania should take over. So I'm not sure. I'm not a constitutional scholar like Alan Dershowitz is, so I'm not as not even close, but nevertheless this is what I read. Nevertheless, let's move on and go to another article where we have this kind of news. Romanian President Klaus Iohannis announces resignation after pressure by populists, not by people in general, but populists. Populists are bad people. That is the connotation you have to internalize. They're bad. Populists. Why? They promise just because, and all right. So we got this, announced his resignations on Monday following mounting pressure from populist opposition groups. 2 months. All right, that's one. Another one. Romania's CNN ongoing president quits to preempt impeachment bid before election rerun. Hey guys, F you all. I'm gone fishing, by the way. Next one. Not that one. Here. Al Jazeera. Romania's President Iohannis resigns after impeachment threat by far right. So the far right had this guy going. Now, what I think happened, you don't resign if you're on the right side of history. And with Iohannis' external support, either the guys in the West told him, Iohannis, it's time to go. We have another shed with a different face, the same shed with a different face, right? That's going to do our bidding, and we're going to take care of Mr. Călin Georgescu. Or maybe Călin Georgescu agreed to paint himself in brown colors, if you know. Cheers, noroc. Pansai! Very thirsty. Good, like Pilsen beer from Czechoslovakia when I was in the communist times. Oh, well, I was illegal, but hey, what do you want? I was a minor. But I was just smelling it. I never inhaled. As what his name, Bill Clinton said. Yeah, I never inhaled. Me, in Czechoslovakia in 1982 and 84, when I was a little boy with a little dingy-lingy, I was like, hey, Pilsner beer, cheers, no, I never, I put that doesn't count as drinking, isn't it? I don't know. So, either an order from the West for reshuffling, Călin Georgescu, either he will not be allowed to even play the game, or he's going to be allowed to play the game, and if he loses, that means he didn't sign the contract. If he wins, I suspect he signed a contract. And maybe if none of what I said about Călin Georgescu will come true, maybe it's because he will not be allowed to have any power. How? You have the second echelon. You have the bureaucracy. Remember, a president is over there. He has to order someone, hey, you do this, you do this, you do this, you do this. And the guy says, yes, president, we're going to do this. Once they get out of the room, they will do nothing. Like with Trump in the first term. That's how many of his policies did not go through, because the bureaucracy did not follow orders. They were waiting. Yeah, he's got about 3 more years. We're going to wait 3 more years. And then you got fired, and then Trump appoints someone else, recommended by someone else. And then someone else was part of the swamp. And then he appointed that guy, and the guy said, yes, sir. So they bought another 6 months, after which Trump again figured out that's another mole. So he fired the other guy, and the other guy, and the other guy, and by the time the right guy came in place, his term expired. So the same here. Călin Georgescu doesn't have to be, hey, you're gonna do. No, the second echelon will not follow orders, and he's gonna fire them. Let's say Călin Georgescu, I'm just saying, let's say he hires me. I don't know, how do you want to call me? Minister of Internal, like the guys with the CIA, the guys that are gonna queue up, that kind of guy, getting information on people and bringing fires like Mr. Hoover in America, remember? The chief. So anyway, I'm gonna put all this together. I'm gonna give orders with people that are already over there, and they're gonna not follow my orders. I can't do anything. So even Călin Georgescu will fire me, say, Emil, you didn't achieve what I told you. I say, yeah, but I have a lot of baboons that don't follow orders. Well, why didn't you replace them? Okay, I'm gonna replace these guys with how many people, loyal people to you, do you think you have? 5 in your life? If you're lucky. You're going to appoint them on the departments, but they have people subordinate to them that can stop it right there. When I'm talking about, you have to have a certain kind of culture. People that will say, this is the new administration. The country is like this. We're together with the country through the democratic vote. That guy is the president. If he says ABC, we follow ABC. We don't say, well, we don't like his ABC. We're not going to do it. Now for me, that's treason. Or you get fired, but before you figure out who's who, what's what, your term ends. So Călin Georgescu, even if he doesn't sign the papers and he gets elected, clearly elected, he has to work with the bureaucracy. How many loyal people he's got? When you're successful, you start having a lot of friends and lovers and all that. They all love you. Why? Because you have power, money, and all that. The same. Once Călin Georgescu will get the power, he's going to be surrounded by so many people who all of a sudden love Călin Georgescu. You look at me? Well, I was with Călin Georgescu for at least 4 or 5 years when he was still with Pământ Strămoșesc. Go and check it out. I was in some meetings over there, by the way. But somehow Pământ Strămoșesc, I didn't hear anything from those guys anymore. Nevertheless, I'm not here to tell you how great I am. So great. We'll see what kind of baboon these guys have ready to replace Klaus Iohannis. So if Klaus Iohannis resigns, there are going to be elections in May. So we're February, March, April, May, about 3 months. We're going to be ran by whom? I'm listening. By whom? By the guy who was supposed to. Now the chief of the Senate will be the guy in charge. He knew he was wrong. That's why he resigned, not because of the pressure from the far right. The far right doesn't have a majority in the Congress in Romania, in the House or in the Senate, in Camera Deputaților, the House of the Deputies. This doesn't have a majority, so that's bull fucking shit. Let's put it straight. Don't tell me he was afraid of those guys. What? A few 10,000 people had showed up 3 times in demonstrations. He resigns. I don't buy it. Romania has about 17 million people now in Romania. And I know the diaspora is maybe about 6 or 7 million people. So let's put those guys in Romania who demonstrate. I mean, you're going to resign because you have some people over there? Even if they're on the right side of history. You don't do that. Otherwise, when I don't like who got elected, I'm going to organize some protest, pay some money, get some NGOs to help me with the U.S. State Department, with the FBI and CIA giving money. I can get 10,000 people just like this, like that. Don't you think? So that means every time you got 10,000 people or 20,000 people or 100,000 people in the streets, I'm going to resign. Then why in the hell do we have democracy? Is that with those 100,000 people they're going to get me out? How many people voted? 5 million? If you get 5 million out, we change things. Anyway, here it is. Congratulations, Professor Higgins. Norok, one more time right here. Very good, man. So, thank you very much for being with me again today. Slava Romania. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.